Hi, hello everybody. So there have been a lot of discussion regarding the game state of Destiny Rising, as well as the content releases and the amount of content that we've had in the game, especially comparing to the beta and the alpha versions of this title. There have also been some other discussions and speculation regarding the launch of the game. In particular, one that's worth mentioning is this video from Misery, who was asking the question, is Destiny Rising in extended beta? And in this video, which I've already watched prior to this recording, he essentially brings up, I believe it was AFK Journey as another example, where they had the global release first, and then worked up towards a CN release, which then happened like a full relaunch of the title for the global when CN got its actual launch. And he was saying that something very similar might be happening with Destiny Rising, especially considering stuff like the poor communication, poor marketing, general lack of content, and meaningful updates in this game, especially compared to the amount of content that we had in the beta, which is not very different from the amount of content that we got at launch. I'm here to say he was 100% right on the fact that Destiny Rising is still in open beta or an extended beta state. However, something that he wasn't entirely correct on was the thing about the CN release, or at least like, unless we're talking about a full CN release. We had the knowledge that Destiny Rising would be releasing in China on the 16th, which is the day of recording right now. When I went into Bilibili to check out the discussion happening on Destiny Rising, I saw this stuff, or this thing right here, Destiny Stars, which is Destiny Rising, open beta CG officially launched on October 16th. So it is officially stated, officially announced that Destiny Rising is still in an open beta compared to a full launch. Because if we're taking a look at the gameplay that is shown in the Destiny Rising videos and streams that are coming out of CN right now, it is pretty much the exact same game state that we have had in our own release of Destiny Rising, with some very minor differences. I think they got a couple more emotes, or some different emotes available, so maybe that's something we might see later on, and also some changes in the UI as well. But apart from that, it's pretty much one-to-one. So with that in mind, it definitely makes it a lot more, what's the word? It definitely changes the perspective on Destiny Rising now that it's really confirmed that we are still in an open beta state. Honestly, I feel like they would have been in a better state, like PR-wise, in the US, if they just were honest and said that was still in an open beta state, that they were launching this as an open beta with progress like going forward or like transferring over to the full relaunch of the title. Right now, it's just put me in like a weird spot. Now it's kind of just going to be, okay, like how is this game going to change and evolve once the actual launch comes around? If we want to guess on when the true launch of the game is coming, if we go to the brand new trailer that they released last night for Destiny Rising, which does show some pretty interesting things in it, like it teases the Witness. We get to see Savathun right here, and we also get to see Wolf piloting a spaceship, and this is specifically a reef-styled spaceship. We go beyond the moon to other destinations. The full launch of the game, we probably will have different destinations beyond just Earth to explore and venture into. If we could guess when launch is going to come around, in the hashtags, it says, quote, coming 2026. So it looks like for the remainder of this year, at the very least, Destiny Rising will still be in its open beta. It means that if we are going to be looking forward to any kind of meaningful system-wide changes in kind of like a full relaunch of the game, that would be coming in 2026 rather than later this year, or even in like season 2 or beyond, or even season 3 with that in mind. So we could very well be going into a situation somewhat similar to Withering Waves, where they had the 1.0 launch, and then about 6 months later they had like the 2.0 launch, which kind of like really reworked, improved a lot of the game systems, and brought it to new platforms and new audiences with the Steam release and the PlayStation release for Withering Waves. So we could very well be seeing something similar to that for Destiny Rising. Of course, Withering Waves was an actual launch and not an open beta, like they have stated here in CN, and not really stated for NA, but it's like if it's in open beta in CN and in the same game set that we have, we're literally just in open beta as well. But with that in mind, I'm sure there will be certain concerns us what will happen to our account progress, what will happen to our investments or our money spent in this game if we are going into a situation where we're getting some kind of global relaunch of the title when CN finally comes out of its own open beta alongside us coming out of our own open beta. Two different ways that I could see this happening. I mean, obviously, if they completely rework the monetization systems and style of this game, especially when it comes to stuff like the reward and resource gathering in this game, we could very well see something like a purchase rebate when it comes to things like pinnacle energy, materials, so on and so forth. I'm not really sure how likely that would be, but if they do certain things like remove the character gacha, then I could very much see a rebate happening for that. Now, do I think that we will get into a situation where our account progresses get reset? I don't think we would. Mostly because I'm pretty sure it would just straight up kill the dedicated player base if that happened. Because I do not know, or I know that there are a lot of people who've put many hours in this game to get like really good artifacts. And I mean like 4 out of 4s in every single slot, max out exotics, like perfect exotic mods. They've got like a perfected character essentially. And that gets taken away from them and they have to regrind that. Even if the game is in a better state, I really don't think that people would stick around with that. So definitely won't have to worry about anything like an account reset because frankly that would just be the worst thing ever. But of course we do have a little bit more to talk about when it comes to this release in CN, and that has to do with the initial reception of this game. For one, this is currently second place on the popularity list for Bilibili, and what that means is essentially out of all the games that are being like talked about, covered, and stuff, it is currently number 2 behind this other one called Echoes of Vision. I haven't heard about this game. It might be a CN exclusive. It's above Arc Knights, Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai, Genshin, Azure Lane, Wuthering Waves, and many other games as well currently, which does make sense. It is a brand new release. However, something that does bear mentioning about its release in comparison to some other titles and also in comparison to our own launch are the reviews, which currently Destiny Rising does not seem to be doing too well critically for the Chinese player base. And something that I did notice when looking through these reviews initially is that you're going to see a lot of people who are leaving 5-star reviews, but they're just absolutely ripping into this game. Like this guy right here, it says like 5-star review, but it essentially states, are you rushing to make this game or to release this game? It looks like garbage in like graphically is what they're saying. Obviously we're going to run into some translation errors because of a machine translation. And then it's classic, I play a defense game like NetEase on my mobile phone and the music starts to explode. And yeah, then we get to some of the translation weirdness. But I mean, we got somebody say it's better to play Destiny 2 than to play this game. Although Destiny 2 is lazy, at least Krypton Gold, which is the translated form of what they say for monetization. So at least the monetization and UI are the most comfortable games. Meaning that Destiny 2's monetization is much less intrusive. But you will see some people who have like more positive takes, but you will also see a lot more people who are having like some really critical takes as well, especially when it comes to things like the game optimization, how it's running, and also the monetization. Those are the two biggest, and the graphics. So the game optimization, like the file size, how much FPS they're getting, how well the game runs, how good the game looks, its graphical fidelity, and also the monetization practices. Those are the 3 biggest things that I've seen complained about when I looked through all of these reviews. If we're being completely honest, while Destiny Rising does look good for a mobile title, the graphics themselves are not really stellar, and even compared to other like high-end mobile games such as Wuthering Waves and the upcoming game Ananta, it very much does not hold up when you do a one-to-one comparison, especially when you comparing like the textures and other graphics in this title. But of course, with the knowledge that this game is in an open beta state, obviously when it comes to any of the issues, we do have to take that with a little grain of salt when it comes to leading up to the launch of the game. So we will obviously have to wait and see how much the devs are going to change and improve this game going forward into the official launch of the game. But of course, that's about all I have for this topic. If you are enjoying my coverage of Destiny Rising and are also interested in games such as Ananta and Duet Night Abyss, be sure to subscribe to my channel, as I'll be covering those two games as they get closer and closer to their own launches. Also, I would like to hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below. If you think the knowledge now that Destiny Rising is actually in an open beta changes how you think about the game, or if you really feel the exact same, whether you're happy or angry or sad or depressed like me, cut that. Be sure to leave a comment down below with your own thoughts. With all that out of the way, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.